excellence and a contribution to a better world. So the impact to the continent would be great if all of us played our rightful role, lived our purpose as designed for us. So thank you very much. I hope I've shed some light on what I see as the continent from an angle of the challenges, the opportunities, and the role I think we can continue to play as the youth of this continent. So thank you very much, and over to you, MC.
And we are back. Thank you once again. Thank you very much for that. We just want to see if we can maybe get a few questions that you can answer for us. But I hope all of us, we've gotten something. And for me, Chebaiba, you know, this whole aspect of making a difference, you know, making a difference in the different spheres of influence that we are in, and also harnessing the opportunities that are there. So for me, that's one thing that I really, you know, that has stood out for me. So I don't know what's your take home, so please talk to us.
Let us know in the chat box what your take home is from what we've heard from Wakiaga, from the presentation. I'm seeing guys are saying thank you for the good sharing. Thank you so much. And of course, if you have anything, of course, that you're learning or any question that you have, feel free to drop it in the chat box. And just in case you're joining us right now, remember that our theme for this year's gathering, that is the 2021 May Gathering, is Reshaping Africa's Leadership Through Character.
All right, and as I was just saying before, we had some technical issue. I was saying my take home is, making a difference, that we should make a difference. I don't know in your sphere of influence what you are doing, but it's high time as young African leaders to make a difference. And also the other thing that stood out for me from the presentation is harnessing the opportunities that are there as leaders and as young people. So as an innovative young person, what are you doing? So step out and step up. It's time we step up and step out. Then another thing is about maximizing the FTA, the free trade area, the African free trade area. So thank you very much for that presentation. So we are really grateful. Now, Chebaiba, the May Gathering, once again, maybe for someone who's not aware, is not conversant with what's going on, you can tell us, what is the May Gathering all about?
Well, so the May Gathering is basically a time, usually around this month, May, end of May, where we gather student leaders from all around the region. That is from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan. I believe I haven't left any other country out. But we gather these student leaders together, and of course we come together. Like for now, if it was to be hosted here in Kenya, they come to Kenya, and we have this one theme. So like this year, our theme, as I said, is Reshaping Africa's Leadership Through Character. So we come together and we just get to engage on this theme. We get to, of course, go through what we stand for as AYLF, that is Jesus leadership. We have conversations around Jesus, leadership, and friendship. And of course, this also coincides with the National Prayer Breakfast that happens right around the same time when we just come together to pray for our nation. So it's really a great time because we also get to meet people from all over the region. You get to make new friends, get to make new contacts. People live with business partners, people live with life partners.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So it's really an interesting time. It's something that you don't want to miss out. And we are glad once again that this year, despite the pandemic, that we can get to meet each other virtually through Zoom and all other technological
platforms.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and Chebaiba, there's this thing you've mentioned. We believe in we are guided by the life of Jesus. But don't get us wrong, we are not a religious organization.
We are not a religious organization, yes, that's important.
We just believe in the principles that, the example of his life. Some people might be wondering, I'm an Islam, and, is this a place that I can plug in? Well, yes, definitely. We have friends from all over. So we are a family of friends, despite our religious backgrounds, despite, status quo. So we just come together and we challenge one another.
Yes.
And we want to inspire the next generation to be a new breed of leaders. And that's all about AYLF.
Yes.
And I can share with you my first prayer breakfast experience. So, I used to see this thing on TV.
Yes.
And one day I was like, so I joined OLF. I happened to be a small group coordinator for some time. So, you know, we were in the same
university. We were in the same university, same small group.
Yeah. So then I got this opportunity to go and, you know, just, you know, proximity to power. When you feel like you're
right next to the
president. So I was really fascinated just meeting all these leaders, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Then I got a chance to go to Rwanda. Like I've gone for the breakfast twice. I've been there twice.
Rwanda.
Yeah, in Rwanda. It's amazing just meeting people and making friends, you know, who become family. So it's a great opportunity, and feel free to continue talking to us on the chat, and, you know, tell us. And I've seen Uganda
are really represented today, and for that we are really, really grateful.
Yes. I want to make a big shout out to my Ugandan people. All of you are watching from Uganda. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you. The rest of us, where are you watching us from? If you're in Kenya, tell us which county you are watching us from.
Yes, please. And also let us know if Neb has gotten that accent right. Ugandans, let us know if Neb has gotten that accent right in the chat box.
All right. So let's see. At least now we can give a few shout outs, then we can get a question, right? So let me see. Can you read a few? So we have Davis Gatete says, wow, such an amazing lady with an awesome profile. Good goals. Yeah, goals. Hashtag mentor. Hashtag you lead, we follow.
Yes.
Then let me see.
Emily Biggs is saying, thank you for sharing, Phyllis. Love from Barara, Uganda. Thank you so much. We have Arafat who's saying appreciations from CEU AYLF to you, Madam Phyllis. And well, let's see.
Good stuff.
We also have Musa Kamusa who's saying Phyllis Wakiaga is such an inspiration, and that indeed is very true.
Right. So my director, do you have any question for Phyllis? Let me see. Okay. All right.
Meanwhile, remember that we have giveaways, we have quizzes that we are going to be fronting to you shortly. So please, you do not want to leave your screens. You do not want to. Yeah, you don't want to leave your screens.
All right. So we have a question. Yeah, we have a question. Let me just read this question. This is, I think, it's addressed to Madam Phyllis. So besides motivating young entrepreneurs and manufacturers, how directly does the association fight unemployment? That's a question from Emmanuel Mutua. So I don't know if we have Phyllis who can answer that for us. So let me just know. So besides motivating young entrepreneurs and manufacturers, how directly does the association fight unemployment? That is Emmanuel Mutua asking that question.
Thanks for that question. So I'll speak about three things we do. The first, of course, is to work around the conducive business environment that I spoke about. So a lot of our work is in advocating for a better business environment in Kenya, in the region. What that does is that if there's a good environment, businesses are able to set up, do their work, and grow their businesses. So that's one way we do it. The other way is we have an SME hub at Kenya Association of Manufacturers. So what we do is that we nurture and support small manufacturing businesses and enable them to grow. So we have a number of young businesses, young people who have started manufacturing farms, and they need hand-holding, mentorship, access to finance and markets. So we do that deliberate hand-holding of small businesses in the manufacturing sector in the country. And we also have a Women in Manufacturing program that's linked to that. We support women entrepreneurs. And we do it through business growth programs at very subsidized or sometimes even free. We do market linkages, like we open up between them and the retail sector, like we have a program running with Carrefour, with the larger players in the sector, so they're able to have a market to sell their goods. And the third way we do it is in our skills development program. We have a program we run on technical vocational education and training, because not everyone is going to go to university. And secondly, we need those technical skills to industrialize as a continent. So we have a program where we work with the graduates out of the TVET institutions. We run work readiness programs for them. We help them to do their CVs, and then we link them up with our industries. So a lot of them are then taken up for apprenticeship, but about 70% get retained in the industries where they go. We've also set up a job site for them So we put in all their CVs. So anyone recruiting from the manufacturing sector is able to go to the site and look for skills through the job site. So those are some of the initiatives that we take up to create the jobs within the country. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. They are doing a lot.
Yeah, they're doing a lot to help young people. So it's just up to young people to plug in and to benefit from these resources and from everything that they are doing to ensure that they, transit to the job market, to the work market.
All right. So, thank you. We just want to special thanks to Phyllis. We really appreciate for that powerful and amazing talk, and also our the previous speakers. We had Uncle Tim, we had Alan and Uganda. We have a lot in store for you. So please, I know at the comfort of your house. When you're on Zoom, I know some of you just that you're chilling, you have
someone is still in their pajamas.
But this information, I know it will permeate those pajamas. It will go through that tea and it will get to you. All right, so you have a question for us.
I have a question for us. And of course, remember, as I said before, we have giveaway questions. So basically what will happen is that I'm going to ask a question, and the first person to type in the correct answer. So you may be the first person to type in an answer, but it may not be correct. So the first person to type in the correct answer will get a giveaway gift. So here we go. So the question is, who was the first African woman to win an election as head of state or government in Africa, and what was her party? So I read it again. Who was the first African woman to win an election as head of state or government in Africa, and what was her party? So if you know the answer, go ahead and type it in the chat box, and of course our team will get you up and we'll know who is getting the gift today.
All right.
But don't worry, we'll still have other questions. So if you don't get this question, stay tuned, you might get the other one.
All right, so we want to just have this session of prayer, and we have our brother, joining us from Tanzania, Mr. Joram. I call him the future president of Tanzania. This guy is a powerhouse when it comes to leadership. This guy, is into mentorship. So, our brother Joram, can you hear us? If you can hear us, do we have Joram? All right, so Joram, kindly take it away and pray for us.
I am hearing you very well, my brother. My brother, MC Neb, thank you very much for the opportunity. And I would love also to thank very much the first presenters who have shared with us insightful messages. And I am told to say a prayer in Swahili, and I'm going to say a prayer in Swahili. So let us humble ourselves as I'm going to pray. Baba Mungu muumba wa mbingu na nchi, tunakushukuru kwa sababu ya zawadi ya maisha na kwa yote uliotujalia. Katika bara la Afrika umelibariki na baraka mbalimbali. Umetupa mito, maziwa, bahari, umejaza samaki na viumbe vingine kadha wa kadha. Umetupa milima, na katika matumbo ya Afrika umejaza madini ya kila namna, dhahabu, almasi na vito vingi vya thamani. Umetupa miti, milima, mabonde na kila aina ya malighafi umeijaza bara la Afrika. Tunakushukuru Mungu wetu kwa upendeleo huo mkubwa. Umetujalia afya njema, umetuepusha na mambo ya hatari ambayo yangetupata kama Waafrika. Lakini Bwana, kuna kitu kimoja tumepungukiwa na maarifa ya kubadilisha hizi zawadi ulizotupa kwa ajili ya manufaa yetu. Na ndio maana badala ya kupata baraka tumepata laana. Tunaona vita, tunaona magonjwa, tunaona watu wananyang'anyana ardhi ambao uliwapa kama zawadi. Katika kitabu cha Hosea mlango wa 4 muungano. Mwenyezi Mungu tujalie muungano, tukapate kuungana, tuwe tuna Afrika yenye muungano wa kibiashara, muungano wa watu wake na muungano wa serikali. Tuwe tuna muungano wa fedha, tuwe na fedha moja na serikali moja. Mwenyezi Mungu tujalie muungano. Tujalie na amani, tuondoe vita katika sehemu mbalimbali za Afrika. Tunapozungumza hapa, kuna watu wengine wako vitani katika bara la Afrika na hawana hata mahala pa kukaa. Yametutaabisha wa Afrika kwa miaka mingi. Tujalie maarifa na utuponye. Utufunike kama kuku wanavyowafunika vifaranga vyake. Utuweke mbali na balaa na mikosi na nuksani. Bwana, utujalie na viongozi wema ambao wanatuongoza. Viongozi ambao hawatakuwa wala rushwa. Viongozi ambao hawatakuwa wabadhirifu wa mali za umma. Viongozi ambao hawatakuwa vitimbakwiri wa kupenda maslahi yao binafsi, bali watakaosaidia maskini na kuzibadilisha nchi zao kuzipeleka kwenye neema zaidi. Bara la Afrika umelijalia vijana ambao karibu 75%. Utujalie basi Mungu wetu maarifa na nafasi za kufanya katika serikali zetu, ili nasi tukashiriki katika uongozi. Asante kwa ajili ya ulinzi ambao unaendelea kutupatia bara la Afrika. Lakini zaidi sana tunakuomba huko siku za mbeleni, utupunguzie balaa, utupatie baraka, ili Afrika watu wetu wasiendelee kuonewa na kubaguliwa sehemu yoyote ile. Bwana, Waafrika wakati wengine tumekuwa kama kondoo waliokosa mchungaji. Basi Bwana, utuletee mchungaji atakayetupeleka katika nchi ya ahadi, nchi ya maziwa na asali. Katika bara la Afrika tujalie mtu kama Musa au mtu kama Yoshua, ambaye atatuvusha katika ng'ambo ya bahari ya Shamu, atuingize katika nchi ya Kanaani. Tunasubiri neema zaidi hizo siku za usoni, Mwenyezi Mungu utakavyotujalia. Tunaomba haya yote, tunajua katika kitabu cha Mambo ya Nyakati wa pili mstari wa 7 mlango wa 7 mstari wa 14 unasema, kama watu wangu walioitwa kwa jina langu watajinyenyekesha na kuomba maghfira na kutubu dhambi zao, utawasikia na kuponya ardhi yao. Bwana, tuponye na matetemeko ya ardhi kama aliyotokea kule Goma. Utujalie upunguze ghadhabu yako, ili tukapate neema zaidi, na utujenge na kuibua viongozi wa Afrika walio wengi, kama Africa Youth Leadership Forum maono yake yalivyo. Kwa jina la Yesu Kristo ninaomba haya na kuamini. Afrika ya baadaye itakuwa nina neema zaidi kuliko ilivyo sasa. Ninawashukuru wote viongozi ambao wanaendelea kufanya kila jitihada kuliimarisha bara la Afrika, na umoja wa Afrika tunauombea ili tukapate umoja ambao tunautazamia. Naomba haya na kuamini kwa jina la Yesu Kristo. Amen. May God bless you. May God increase you. May God give us
All right, thank you very much Brother Joram. Asante sana kaka Joram. Tunashukuru kwa ombi hilo ambalo umeliomba kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. So you speak Swahili. You try, just try.
Lugha. I had forgotten it's even lugha.
Yeah, it's lugha.
Hey.
Yeah. Naam, karibu sana ambao mnaorejea katika gathering mkutano. All right, once again, welcome back. This is the May gathering brought to you by AYLF. My name is MC Neb alongside
Sharon Chabaibai. Of course, tunasema karibu sana. Since we are hosting this gathering in Kenya, tunasema karibuni sana to the 2021 May gathering. Now, kumbuka, we had asked a question, and I had said the first person to type in the correct answer would get a giveaway. And I'm seeing my boss is telling me that the person who was the first person to type in the answer is none other than Margaret Wangari. Congratulations, Margaret. What is she getting?
Yes, Margaret Wangari is getting a customized hoodie.
And not just any other customized hoodie, but an AYLF customized hoodie.
And remember, July is coming, so Margaret, we sorted you. So just do this, kindly just send us a private message, right? Then we'll get in touch with you. Yes, na msiseme hizi ni zile za watu wa TV tunapeananga na zifiki.
Hizi zinafika.
No. We are AYLF. We are, you know, integrity. Our core values.
Yes.
Integrity.
Yes.
Right, so thank you very much for engaging with us. We really appreciate each and every one of you for taking your time. And by the way, I want us to do this. I want you to tell us, if you're a student leader, you can tell us the position, your position, and actually your excellencies, we are humbled, we are at your feet. So tell us your position that you serve in as a student leader.
Yeah.
Sharon here told us she was a student leader and she was in charge of
the female campus affairs representative,
yes.
So female issues.
Yes. For me, I was not necessarily a student leader per se, but
you are a young leader in your own right.
And next year I'm vying by the
Yes. It's getting into politics. Well then, so right about now, I'd like us to introduce our next speaker who is going to be giving us a spoken word. Wow.
But this guy is a very good friend of mine. Yeah.
Really?
I know him from another world, and he's great.
Okay, So the person giving us the spoken word is Nduati Murugi, and just a quick bio. Nduati Murugi, a young fellow seeking the most for his immediate community. So Nduati Murugi is a young fellow seeking the most for his immediate community. He makes use of the gift of spoken word and rap music to influence and challenge the status quo. He also serves as a pastor with one of the churches in Nairobi, Kenya. So Nduati Murugi for you, everyone. He's going to be giving us a spoken word. So Nduati, if you can hear me, just tell us a quick hello, and then you can go ahead and take the stage, the virtual stage.
Drum rolls.
Yeah.
So much. It's a pleasure being here. I hope you can hear me. Can you? Could you just confirm? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Oh, okay, cool. I can see a thumbs up. I'll just get waiting for feedback. I wouldn't want to start when you're not all on board. It's a
Kidogo, yeah, and as they say in the ghetto, speak with strength.
Speak with strength.
I hope this is better. I was using my earphones. I think that would be a challenge, but I hope this is much better. All right, wonderful. So it's a pleasure being here. I've heard a lot about AYLF. I'm a good friend of Neb. Let me confirm that, lest it be said that anadanganya and we know he's running for office. But it's a pleasure being here. I just wanted to share a piece with us about youth and governance, and I hope really that it will challenge us to pick up the spaces where we need to be at. So my name is Nduati, and I'm a spoken word artist. Rightly so, I'm meant to be artistic, but let me start with a few statistics. So 77% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa is younger than 35 years old. But I bet you knew that already. The median age of the African population is 19.5 years old. But I bet you knew that already. Yet the average age of the African head of state is 62. I really wanted you to know that. That's a 40-year gap. And how well can they represent our people then that they know nothing about? Yet the biggest question is, why aren't we rallying among each other, convening, collaborating, contributing collectively to bring forth the leader we most desperately need? And no excuses welcome. If anything, we are the most learned generation. Bachelor's degrees and masters to our names. We have gone through all kinds of schools, CPA, ACCA, ICDL, French classes, German classes, heck, even driving school. Yet we can't see and find the drive within to change the status quo. Yet I think it's cool that we are the most learned generation. We have read so much so that we can read between the lines and see when they say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, they really don't mean it. And maybe your situation is like mine around me, that there's this head of state and his deputy, and you feel like their leadership isn't what it's supposed to be. And I see how easy it is for this pair to lead you to despair. And learned we are, yes. And we might argue that according to chemistry, alcohol is a solution. C2H5OH. Our pastor, I shouldn't know that. Yet it's definitely not the solution. So instead of taking a shot of Gilbey's gin, how about you take a shot at the MP seat? I mean, Alexander the Great assumed the throne at 20, and by the time he was 30, he had established a Greek empire that spanned continents. His feat as a military commander is prolific and unmatched. Joan of Arc at 17, greatly believing that God had called her to this, approached the powers and led the nation of France in military campaign to keep the British from taking over their land. And away from distant history, let's look closely at what has happened recently. Malala Yousafzai at 17 wins a Nobel Peace Prize after years of advocating for education for girls in her home country, Pakistan. Or Greta Thunberg, teen lead activist for climate change from Sweden, advocating for education, leading a host of many teenagers around the world to do the same. I guess then the biggest question is this: when will our voices be heard? When will our African voices be heard? Who says we cannot do it? We can, and in fact, we should. We are tired of the same old narrative. The youth are the leaders of tomorrow. The youth are the leaders of tomorrow. We don't want to hear it anymore. Not even that we are the leaders of today. The Swahili word for youth is kijana, and I think it captures it well. Kijana. Ki means like, and jana means yesterday. Kijana, like yesterday. The youth need to be in the places of power, like yesterday. Hand it over back to the MC.
That was nice. That was really nice.
That's how you do for spoken word. You snap. Wow. Thank you very much, Duarte Murigi. Yes. We really appreciate that. Kijana.
Yes.
Hey.
Like yesterday.
Like yesterday.
Yeah. So our next speaker is none other than Honorable Elachi Beatrice. So just before she speaks to us, just a quick bio. At just 47 years, Beatrice Elachi is not only a mother of 4, but also a great academic and politician. She has a Master's of Art in Peace and Security Studies from African Nazarene University. She has served as a senator, a speaker of the Nairobi City County, and currently serves as the CAS Public Service and Gender. She has worked with the United Nations prior to her political life. Yes, so that is our next speaker for you. Honorable Elachi, if you can hear me.
Thank you, and good morning. You can hear me? Koi.
Hello, you can hear? Yes. We can hear you. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
So once again, good morning, honorable all members. Because we are all honorable. That's what I always say. And we are honorable in our different styles of lives and our different works. And honorable does not just mean a politician, but honorable means what you take as yourself, that this is what I believe in, and you become honorable in that. So that's how I believe in that. So once again, I want to thank you so much, and thank the organizers as we organize ourselves to prepare for tomorrow's prayer breakfast meeting. I think it is always a pleasure and a very humble one to always join our young leaders in just discussing what is happening within our country. But more importantly, I know I have a subject of etiquette of politics. And I might look at it in two different ways. One is to appreciate that it's not just politics that will run our country, as much as I know we are a very litigious country, and it have just decided as a people that our country will always be run by litigation, which is very unfortunate, but that's how we are today. Having said that, I just want to say that I come in as a mother of many there, and I'll speak as a mother. And I just listened to my last speaker, when shall we be heard? And I'll pick it from there. When shall you be heard? I think the most important thing before we even reach there is that, are you heard at home? Are you able to say that today I am a leader in our home, that whenever my mom, my dad, my siblings are in challenge, I am there to stand for them? Because people think it is just in politics. When you come in politics, when you're a politician, you are a mother or a father of all those people who have decided they have elected you, because you become a leader who will listen to every issue that comes to you, whether you like it or not. They will come to you with an issue where you might feel, why would you tell me this? But that is life. That is how it works in Kenya. That within the context of a politician, you are indeed a welfare worker. And so when we start from there, it's where now we start asking ourselves that responsibility. And you'll start asking yourselves that, what are my temperaments? Am I able to manage human beings? Am I able to understand? And human beings are there with different, we have sanguines, we have different temperaments that we have. Are you able to manage that as you lead, as you come into this power, as you come in to be heard? It is very critical. And therefore, I always say it starts at home. It starts with your character, with your values, your attributes, what you believe in. Do you believe in listening people? Do you believe in snapping people that I'm at this level and therefore I can't go down to that level? Because I know we have leaders in our country who believe even in offices, I cannot talk to job group A, B, C, D because I am the CEO, and therefore there are those who talk to those ones. But you have no idea what your watchman, your house girl, who are the most critical in your life in terms of making you do your work, your nanny and your watch. If you can't know it is through them, then when you're coming into that power, it means there are very many people, but you'll also never want to see. You'll have that attitude of, there are those who need to deal with those ones. So when we talk about when shall we be heard, we talk about a society. And I always say, in the beginning, I was also very naive. I didn't know when you enter into politics, you will find yourself, let's say, for example, you're young, you are not married. But then a grandma will come to you with an issue and you have to deal with it because you're the leader and she believes you are the everything you're the savior at that time. So when we talk about etiquette of politics, there are quite a number of issues that we always want to look at. And that's why I always say, educate yourself before you even open your mouth. You get to understand the target group that you have. Get to understand people. They're in different clusters and different styles of lives. And therefore, until you understand them, you might find yourself saying something that will really offend. I always say politeness is a very good reading. It helps you to have that niche of people appreciating and they feel comfortable to approach you. It's always very important to understand that. It is also very important to be very clear. You know, some of us have survived because we stand with what we believe in. It does not matter how the boat is sinking, but that's my stand. I can come in and decide, okay, this is my stand. But for the sake of the public interest, I will agree to have a win-win. I will put my positions aside, but in that time, I am not just putting my position aside, but I'm knowing very well the interest and that belief that I have is part of the interest of the good of many. And so knowing your stand and where you stand is always very critical if you want to be a good leader. I mean, in terms of etiquette, you cannot be here tomorrow. Again, you change your voice, you're talking of something else. And I know politicians, we are like that, but it's very unfortunate. So for me, I would want to see someone who says, I believe in this. It does not matter whether the train is going where, and that is what everyone, even if you remain alone, but you stood, you never know. One day they'll come to remember there was one who stood alone and believed in this, and it has now come to pass. So it is always very important to really have a stand so that people can understand you, so that people can be able to appreciate. We have a leader, even if he says no, we know why he's saying no. And there are reasons of that no. So sometimes you might find politicians, we wave because we will want to try and see where we don't like losing. You see, if you're a good leader and a leader, I know most leaders, especially leaders who believe in prayer, you will have a very different view in many. And that is how we have survived even when I was a senator in Parliament. That we survived, a few of us, and everything we spoke about, it has come to pass. Everything we felt that it was wrong, it has come to pass. And we thank God for that, because we had a stand at that time. Now, today, those leaders we used to tell, this is not workable, it will come to affect the country at one point. They can feel it. And that is why they will always respect, regardless of who you are. So having a stand will help you so much to ensure that people respect you, people believe in you. You will have followers who will want to know what is so-and-so saying. And I pray that in the leaders we have today, especially you, the leaders, as we move forward and looking at this country, I know we need leaders who will come and just stand and say, this is right, this is wrong. This is going to help our country move forward. We might be so much, I know we call ourselves keyboard warriors, but sometimes it's good to stop the keyboard warring and enter the ground and just listen. Now listen to the physical, one-on-one, what people are saying, and you'll find yourself appreciating that as much as I was listening when I'm in Nairobi, but when I'm in Kilifi, in Bamba, there is a need of this. Why is it that it is happening this way? And so you'll find there's a difference when you get to the ground. So I will also appreciate when we are leaders who really do a visit for your country. Go around. I know there's COVID, and with this post-COVID, we have a lot that has come up. We have a lot that we need to ask ourselves, how are we going to deal with it? We have young people who are in despair. And as much as we say that, but they've also joined in very many interesting groups that they need help, a lot of help. And they've gone there because of the different challenges that they are facing. So that is one thing as leaders that we must and we have to try our best to understand our country, our cultures, and where we are coming from. And with the new constitution and the setup of counties, trust me, you and I know very well that things have really changed. It's very dynamic. It is not like the days where you'll say a young person from Central will just move and enter Coast Province. And don't be